The room went quiet after I spoke. It wasn't meant to be serious. Just another tipsy joke among friends on a Friday night. But the way my husband froze in that instant, the glass of water halfway to his lips, his eyes locking on mine like I just ripped open something fragile, told me I'd crossed a line I couldn't undo. I replay that moment every night. The way the air thickened. The way my friends exchanged wide-eyed glances, masking their unease with forced laughter. And the way he set his glass down so quietly, so deliberately, before excusing himself from the table. "Be right back," he said, controlled. But I knew that night marked the beginning of the end. We had been married 8 years. Ethan wasn't perfect, but he was good. The kind of man who showed up, paid the bills, held me when I cried, and never missed a day without a kiss on my forehead. Some might have called him boring. I did too, sometimes. But boring meant stability. Boring meant safety. And for most of our marriage, that was enough, until it wasn't. It began as harmless chatter at girls' night, one too many glasses of rose, a conversation about dream men, and my own restless need to feel something more. I remember leaning back, smiling too wide, and saying, "Well, let's be honest. If I had a better man, maybe I'd be happier." Laughter followed. Some clapping. Someone teased, "Better than Ethan?" I smirked, rolling my eyes. Yeah, better than Ethan. It was a joke, right? The problem wasn't what I said. It was that Ethan heard it. When we got home, he didn't yell. He didn't throw anything or demand an apology. He simply sat at the kitchen table, hands folded, his face pale and unreadable. "Do you mean that?" he asked quietly. My chest tightened. What I said tonight. His eyes held mine, steady and searching. "Do you really think you'd be happier with a better man?" I froze. My instinct was to laugh it off, call it a joke again. But something in his gaze warned me that wouldn't help. I should have said no, that it was silly, that I loved him, that he was enough. But I didn't. My silence betrayed me. "Emily," he pressed, his voice cracking slightly. "Tell me you don't mean it." And I couldn't, not convincingly. Part of me, the part one had never admitted, had been whispering the same thing for months. That maybe I wanted more, that maybe was enough, that maybe I wasn't built for safe. Ethan stood, wordless, walked into the bedroom and shut the door. That was the last night we ever shared a bed. In the days that followed, he became a ghost in our home. Quiet footsteps, avoiding my eyes, stopping conversation before it could start. At first, I tried to give him space, thinking time would thaw the tension, but the silence only deepened. Then, 3 days later, I came home to find a neatly stacked pile of papers on the counter. Divorce papers, his signature already inked in black. My stomach dropped. "Ethan?" My voice cracked. He appeared in the doorway, expression unreadable. "I can't do this anymore," he said. "Do what?" "Be the man you tolerate? The one you joke about replacing?" My chest tightened. "Ethan, it was a joke. Please. You know me. I didn't mean it." He shook his head. "No, Emily, you did mean it. Maybe not the way you think, but I saw it in your eyes, heard it in your silence when I asked you to say otherwise." Tears stung. "You're throwing away 8 years over one comment." He flinched, but his voice remained steady. "No, I'm walking away because I realize now you've been throwing us away for much longer than that." I begged, I cried, but Ethan wasn't impulsive. If he filed, he had thought it through. He was done. The following weeks felt like drowning. I kept expecting him to soften, to return to man who once held me when I cried. But he didn't. He grew colder, distant, resolute, and I unraveled. I told myself he was overreacting, told friends he was dramatic, leaving over a stupid joke. But when they hesitated, their eyes flickering with judgment, I saw the truth I had been avoiding. It wasn't the joke itself. It was what it revealed, that I had stopped valuing him, cherishing him. One night, desperate, I cornered him in the living room. "Please, Ethan," I whispered, clutching his arm. "Don't do this. We can fix it. I'll do better." His eyes were heavy with sorrow and exhaustion. "Do you even know what better means, Emily? Or do you just want me to erase what you said, so you can feel comfortable again. I swallowed hard. I want us. I want you. His lips trembled slightly. For a moment, I thought he might relent, but he pulled free. You had me, Emily, every part of me, and you didn't want it. The finality in his voice shattered me more than yelling ever could. The divorce moved quickly. Ethan was methodical, efficient, almost unnervingly calm. He gave me more than he had to, split things fairly, never dragged it out. It was as if he wanted it over as much as I wanted it undone. The night he moved out, I clutched the doorframe, trying to hold myself together. He picked up his last box, paused, and turned. His eyes softened. I loved you, he said simply, more than anything. But love dies when it's mocked. And then he left. 6 months have passed. The papers are final. His name is gone from my mail, his clothes from the closet, his toothbrush from the bathroom. But his absence fills every space. I tell myself it was just a joke, that people say worse things in marriages and survive. But I know better. Ethan didn't leave because of the joke itself. He left because the joke revealed the rot beneath, the cracks I refused to see, my restlessness, my failure to value what I had. Now, whenever I sit at that same kitchen table where he once asked me to tell him I didn't mean it, I hear the silence I offered him instead. The silence that cost me everything. Because sometimes betrayal isn't a secret affair or a hidden life. Sometimes it's the words you let slip, revealing how little you cherish the person who gave you everything. And once that truth is out, it can never be taken back. Not with all the apologies in the world.